In this video, I'm going to give you 18 ways to get more views on your YouTube videos, because if you don't get those views, the algorithm's just going to send those viewers to some other channel, and we don't want that. So number one, you've got to make good thumbnails, because the view starts with a click. If they don't click, they don't view, and you don't get any of those views. So what do you need? Well, you need to get attention within about 1/10 of a second, because people are looking at a lot of other thumbnails trying to decide which one to watch next. So it's also got to be relevant to what they want to see, and they can make a decision very quickly. So number two, good titles. You've got to have good titles. Remember, people look at the thumbnail first, then they look at the title. So if they match up, it doesn't have to be the exact same thing, doesn't have a ton of text, but it has to be enticing and accurate, and it has to be what the viewer wants. Number three, the topics. Remember, a topic and a title are not necessarily the same thing. The title describes the topic, but what is the topic? That's the type of thing that the viewer is looking to find out how to do or what to experience. And it needs to be about what they want, not what you want as a business or a creator. And one of our clients, Jenny, and this is not her real name, she made this change, and this really helped her get more views. She was focusing on this jargon internal of what her industry knows about and is experienced about. But the thing is that the viewer wants to know what they care about, wants to use the words that they care about. So we put in the topics that they were looking for, not what she wanted them to know. They want to know what they want to know to make their lives better or do their jobs better. Number four, say you or yourself or yours or some you word in that very first sentence. We did a study with TubeBuddy a few years ago, and we did a study of 30,000 videos randomly chosen, and we found out that videos would get 64% more views if you said you in just the first 5 seconds. And when I say the word you, that means I value you, the viewer. This is personally about what you want, not about what I want. I'm not saying in this video, I'm going to tell you about this awesome thing I did. No, I'm going to tell you about what you want to know. Number five, say a version of the title in the first sentence. Why is that? People come and they click on videos and they think, oh boy, this person's going to screw me on this because they got me to click and now I don't want to watch whatever it is about. But if you actually say some version of the title and use that phrasing and reverse it, like if the title was how to fix your car, in the first sentence you can say, today I'm going to show you how to fix your car. And when you do that, they feel more secure and they get ready to watch instead of just click off, because they trust you, because you fulfilled the promise of the title and the thumbnail by saying it really is what I promised you it was going to be about in the title and the thumbnail. Number six, talk to the viewer one-to-one. This is a one-to-one communication. It's not a one-to-many. If it was a one-to-many, I would be talking like this. But it's not. It's a one-to-one. This is not a TED Talk. This is a connection between me, the presenter, the host, the creator, whatever, and you, the viewer. And we're going to make a personal connection. That's the true value of YouTube that a lot of people don't realize. Number seven, look the viewer in the eye. Now, I'm looking at you directly in the eye, meaning I'm looking directly at the camera. It's a little hard to do until you get the experience. But even if we look slightly to the left or right, I'm going to look 1 inch to my left. Now you can see now I'm looking at the logo of the camera and it says Logitech and it's just 1 inch to the left. It looks very different. I'm not making as good a connection as if I turn and I look directly at you. In fact, sometimes when I start recording, I actually point directly at the camera and I say, I'm looking here. I actually verbalize it, because this is the most important person in the room, is this camera right here, not some producer, not some other thing I'm looking at, not some script I'm reading. It's you. Number eight, smile. Was I smiling earlier? I'm not sure. I try to smile and I try to remember to smile, because people want to enjoy watching a video. And when you're very serious, it's not as much fun. So show the viewer that you're happy to be around them by smiling, because when we're around people we like, we smile, and that makes them feel welcome. You don't have to do it in a fake way. Just do it in a real way, as if you're talking to a friend. Number nine, stand up. When you're standing, you actually feel more free, you breathe easier, you speak easier, you project your voice easier, but also it gives a little bit of attention for the viewer. Even though you can't see below here, you can feel that I'm standing up, but also for me, it gets me to be more crisp with my words than if I was sitting behind a desk and I'm a little bit slower. That's not as good as standing up. Get right to the point. If you go back to the beginning of the video, I actually went to step 1 probably within about 10 seconds. People don't want a long intro on YouTube. They just don't want it. You can add a lot of value and pepper that within the steps, which is what I'm trying to do. But you don't want to have a long intro because people, they're like, this guy's going to take forever, and they'll click off and they may never return to your channel. So give them value right from the front. And you know what? If you're too slow in that intro, just keep repeating it. Maybe you do 10 versions of that intro until you get it right, until you're crisp. Number 11, speak quickly. You don't have to be jabbering. You don't want that quickly, but you know what? People on YouTube, they want some information. They want to connect with someone, but they have time constraints. They got other stuff to do and they got to be moving on. So if you're talking too slow, it's not going to work. When we have business calls and whatever, we actually do want to speak slowly because we want to communicate, we want to involve everyone. It's not the same on a video. On a video, even though it's one-to-one, people have real time constraints. It's not the same as a meeting. And by the way, people get pretty bored of meetings, right? That's why it's not very exciting. So we want you to speak quickly, but you have to speak clearly too. That may take some practice. You may have to repeat and edit and edit and edit. My recommendation, edit sentence by sentence. So you want to say a whole sentence from beginning to end without stopping, instead of stopping in the middle of a sentence. That's harder to edit. Number 12, use stories and anecdotes. You hear about storytelling as what's going to drive viewers coming back again and again and connect with you, because we learn by stories, and that's great. But stories are hard to know how to do well, and that's why they have trained professionals. My brother is a trained storyteller consultant for businesses. It's hard to learn over time, but it's a doable thing. But you know what else is easier? Is an anecdote. What is an anecdote? It's just a little snippet of a story, which, if you remember at the beginning of the video, I said something, maybe it was around step 3. Hey, we had this client, Jenny, not her real name. She was doing one thing, she changed and did another thing. You may have even visualized and saw that, and wasn't really a full story, but it was an encapsulated story about a person. My client's not going to feel like their privacy has been invaded because I didn't lose their name. Her name isn't really Jenny. Maybe it's Jim. Maybe it's Sandy. Maybe it's Susan. It doesn't really matter, but I really do have a client that did that. Get geeky. Number 13, get geeky. Your viewers in your niche really want to get the nitty-gritty of these expert things that you know how to do. You want to get into the jargon of what people are talking about, if it's what they're talking about, not if it's an insider term that they're not interested in. That's a fine line. You're going to have to learn the difference between what the industry talks about and what your user talks about. For instance, we work with real estate folks, and Jeff, not his real name, was talking about investment properties. But you know what? People who have one investment property don't use the word investment properties. They use rental properties or something like that. They don't think of themselves as investors. They just think of themselves as somebody who has a second home that rents things out. So don't use the insider terms. Use the terms that they're using. Even if they're not entirely accurate, you can say, and I told Jeff, again, not his real name, Jeff, why don't you just say rental property, which in the industry we call investment properties? Well, if you're rental property, you should do A, B, and C. So that's what we did. Number 14, don't repeat yourself. Don't repeat yourself. Don't repeat yourself. Why is that? Because people have a rewind button. They have a little scrubber on their video and they can just rewind it themselves. If you say, and again, I want to repeat, or in summary, or to wrap up, the thing is that people don't need a wrap up. They don't need a summary. Just say what you have to say and move on to the next thing. If they really want to know it, they'll go back and watch it again. So you don't want to repeat yourself. Like I said, don't repeat yourself. See, you already want to click off. Don't click off. I've got more to say. Number 15, make videos as long as they have to be. How long does a video have to be? As long as it needs to be, and not 1 second more. Make sure every second you're adding value. If you are not adding value, you should stop and edit that out or end the video altogether. Number 16, have half your viewers still watching at the end. We've talked a lot about audience retention. Take a look at that audience retention for each video. Look at your old videos, see what you're doing, and see if you've got 50% of your viewers still watching at the very, very end of the video. And if you don't, maybe your videos need to be shorter, but more likely, they need to have more value, faster cadence, maybe some other topics. Number 17, don't upload irrelevant videos. If you've promised people that your channel is about one thing and that's why they subscribed, don't put videos that are not about that thing. Find out what your customer is, what your niche is, what your target viewer is, and give them more of those videos, and you will be rewarded by more views. Number 18, this is sort of optional. Make 2 videos per week. Why 2 videos? Not because the algorithm says you need to make 2 videos, but you need to make 2 videos per week and upload them, because every time you make a video, you do better. You refine your process from editing to presenting to all the other things, and each week it's going to get better. Not every video is going to be a smash hit, but every time you get better by making more videos, you will understand what gets more views. Now, I know you want to check out my next video, but before you do that, please say hi in the comments so I can say hi back. My name's Dane. I'm here to help you up your game on YouTube and transform your viewers into loyal customers. So please say hi in the comments. You do that, and you'll be golden.